Our top story now, 3 soldiers were killed in action and 3 others injured during a gunfight with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri area today. The encounter started after the terrorists ambushed 2 army vehicles which were passing through an area called Dera Ki Gali or DKG. The fire was immediately retaliated upon by Indian troops. Let's go across to Nazir for the very latest. Nazir, very tragic news coming in, the loss of 3 army men. What is the latest you can share with us?
Well, it appears that the attackers had used armor-piercing vehicles, which are steel core, armor-piercing bullets, which are steel core bullets used to target bulletproof vehicles. That's why when you see the 2 vehicles, army vehicles, a gypsy and a truck, the gypsy is clearly the bulletproof and it has been attacked, and the officers, soldiers sitting there have been killed, traveling in the vehicle have been killed. So it appears that the attack has been anticipated by militants, and the way it has been carried out in area which though it is densely forested area and road passes through from Baklia's area to Dera Ki Gali. In between there's road construction going on, so it is very, very bumpy, muddy road. Last month I was traveling on this road during the Kalakot attack on the army. 5 soldiers were killed. So it is a very, very difficult in terms of road connectivity, very, very difficult area, even as the construction is going on. But the army has to travel through these roads and carry out the operations. According to army, they had launched the operation yesterday based on hard intelligence about the presence of militants. But what happened today, they were ambushed when they knew their presence of militants were present. It also shows what army has last month said, that there are 20 to 25 foreign terrorists operating this area, which was free from militancy since 2003. Now it appears they have made it a hotbed since last 2 years, particularly from October 2021, when we saw first major attack in this particular area, where 10 soldiers were killed in 2 different encounters. Let's come to the 2023. What happened? First, there was on January 1st, there was an attack on the on Hindu families in Rajouri. Then in April, there was 2 major attack on the army. 5 soldiers were killed. Army launched a counter-militancy operation in the area. But during the operation, within 15 days of that operation, army landed into an ambush. 5 special forces soldiers were killed on May 5. And then there have been multiple operations, relentless operations, which have been launched by the army and police. A number of militants have also been killed. But what we saw last month, there was another operation in which the army lost 5 soldiers, including 2 majors. And now this major attack, while these are initial reports that 3 soldiers have been killed, 3 are injured, but reports say the number of injuries or the casualty could be higher. And the operation is underway to track down the militants, but it is not easy to flush out militants during the night when the dense forest and the very difficult terrain provides them a perfect shelter.
Right, Nazir, thanks so much for joining us. With that, the second big attack on the army in the same area in a month's time. Well, moving on to news now of Parliament and a big fallout of the shocking Parliament breach on the 13th of December when 2 men let off smoke canisters in the Lok Sabha is now the Delhi police. You'll in fact have the CISF which will be guarding the Parliament now. The Home Ministry said this in a notification that the CISF will now be in charge of access to Parliament and will take over all responsibilities including frisking entrants.
Shocked by this massive security lapse, the centre has now engaged the Central Industrial Security Force or CISF for security of Parliament. The CISF is currently responsible for security of all Union Government Ministry buildings, nuclear and aerospace installations, civil airports and the Delhi Metro. It will now handle the comprehensive security of the new Parliament building complex. After that violation which happened, the security breach, we can see increased police presence in and around the Parliament of India. There are multiple barricades which have been put up as well. Now, in order to ensure that the entire Parliament premises, which is a new building of Parliament, is foolproof, this mechanism is being put in place. Of course, there will be a survey which will be conducted by CISF first, and thereafter the government going ahead and engaging with CISF in handing over the Parliament security. On the 13th of December, The 22nd anniversary of the attack on Parliament, two men, Sagar Sharma and Manoranjan D, jumped into the Lok Sabha chamber from the visitors' gallery, setting off yellow smoke canisters and shouting slogans before being overpowered by some MPs and the watch and ward staff. Around the same time, two other accused, Amol Shinde and Neelam Devi, also sprayed coloured gas from canisters while shouting "Tanashahi nahi chalegi" outside Parliament. The cans were slipped inside Parliament in cavities cut into custom-made shoes, unnoticed during physical checks.
The issue only is that there'll be huge manpower requirements over there, and there'll be a lot of pressure on the CISF. Every institution should have their own men for security, but then the logistics will be definitely huge.
The CISF will first survey the Parliament complex and then deploy personnel. A CISF communication accessed by NDTV says it is requested to detail other members of the Joint Survey Board, including an officer with technical expertise. An officer of CISF Fire Wing may also be detailed in consultation with the Fire Directorate. The Survey Board may be directed to conduct the survey instructions, guidelines issued from time to time on conducting surveys in association with representatives of the Parliament Secretariat. So frisking at the entrance to Parliament will now be done by the CISF. The change is an attempt to streamline protocols and end jurisdiction confusion of various agencies. Remember, a multi-agency probe was ordered following the security breach. With Neeta Sharma in New Delhi, this is Maria Shakil for NDTV.
And on the subject of Parliament, the suspension spree continued in the Lok Sabha today as well. Before it was later in the day adjourned sine die. 3 more opposition MPs were suspended for unruly behaviour, taking the total number of suspensions in Parliament to an unprecedented 146. The opposition protested the suspensions with a march from Parliament. This as the BJP held a protest as well against what they said was the Congress insulting Parliament.
Protest versus protest as the political heat peaked amid the capital winter. As the series of suspensions continues in Parliament, opposition took to the streets, marching from Parliament to Vijay Chowk. A curtain raiser to the nationwide protests planned by opposition parties on Friday.
सरकार ये नहीं चाहती कि सदन चले. They don't have faith in democracy. They don't want discussion, debate.
Most of the suspended MPs are from the Congress, 38 of its 48 MPs in the Lok Sabha.
Basic conventions of parliamentary democracy require two things of the government. First is that the system means collective ministerial responsibility to the parliament. The second concern is that when parliament is in session, the government also has an obligation to run it smoothly.
Countering the opposition, the Delhi unit of the BJP also staged this demonstration at the Jantar Mantar, blaming the opposition for the parliament ruckus.
हमारे क्षेत्र की समस्या हम कैसे बताएंगे? हम संसद से जाकर के अपने क्षेत्र में क्या जवाब देंगे? ये अपनी बात उठाते भी नहीं. ये सिर्फ और चाहते हैं कि संसद को बंद कर दिया जाए.
BJP members have been demanding an apology from MPs for insulting Parliament and mimicking the Vice President.
Entire opposition is at fault here. It has become an old habit of Shri Rahul Gandhi and the opposition to continue attacking democratic institutions and insulting things which are close to India.
While the opposition marched from Parliament to Vijay Chowk to lodge their protest, the BJP reiterated that's the propriety of the Speaker on the suspension of the members of the Parliament. At the same time, the BJP also held a protest at Jantar Mantar demanding apologies from some members of the Parliament. With Vasudha Venugopal and video journalist Sushil Rathi, this is Nukul Jashoria for NDTV.
In other news, Congress top leaders met today to discuss the party's plans on seat sharing with India bloc partners and strategy for the upcoming Lok Sabha polls, as well as assess reasons for its defeat in the three states. This meeting of the Congress's highest decision-making body, the CWC, is the first after the party lost in the three Hindi heartland states. Let's go across to Sunil now for more. So several issues on the agenda, Sunil, as well as the second Bharat Jodo Yatra by Rahul Gandhi.
That's right. I think they've decided now to go ahead from the east to west campaign. So that's going to start off. The dates hasn't been announced, but it will be done shortly. The other, of course, as you rightly pointed out, working with like-minded parties of the India Alliance to, form a united front against the BJP and left it to state level, as well as alliance leaders to see that those differences are sorted out, be it in Punjab, be it in Delhi or Uttar Pradesh or West Bengal, wherever there are issues, but have an alliance as far as possible. And also refusing to discuss that embarrassing proposal of Mamata Banerjee of Mr. Karge as the prime ministerial candidate. They didn't really discuss this today, which was backed by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal at the India Alliance meeting, but definitely something that the Congress can think of at a later stage. But at this present juncture, as Mr. Karge pointed out, you need to get the MPs and you need to be able to work together and give a united front and hopefully win some seats.
All right, Sunil, thanks so much for joining us there with those details. Now in Bengal, the Congress and Trinamool are in seat-sharing talks. The Congress pushing for 6 seats in the 2024 elections, while the Trinamool is reportedly offering 4. No Congress left tie-up this time in West Bengal. Saurabh joins us with the details.
What does the India Alliance look like in West Bengal? Well, the left is largely out of the picture, and a tie-up between the TMC and the Congress is on the cards. Now, in spite of just 2 parties remaining with the left largely out of the picture, there's still a tussle over seat sharing between the Congress and the TMC as well. The Congress wants 6 seats. The TMC is unlikely to accommodate it in so many seats. But there is also other factors like, for example, the TMC in a goodwill gesture may vacate some seats, including the Raiganj seat for the Congress, which could work in favor of an alliance with the TMC and the India Alliance largely in West Bengal. What about the left? And why are central Congress leaders wary of an alliance with the left? Well, the simple reason is electoral arithmetic in the past. Every time the Congress has worked in alliance with the TMC, they've done better. For example, when they won 6 + 1, 7 seats in 2014, it was in alliance with the TMC. And in 2019, they won only 2 seats. There was no alliance with the left as well. But in 2021, when they were in alliance with the left, they again won less seats. So that's one of the reasons why there's no alliance with the left. At least that's what central Congress leaders think, given that the left may also not agree to vacate the Raiganj seat, which is important for the Congress. Now, why then work with the TMC when the Congress is in opposition in West Bengal? Well, the simple reason is again electoral arithmetic. If the Congress and the TMC come together, in areas like Malda and Murshidabad, which is the Congress bastion and which is seats that the Congress are looking at, there could be a consolidation of anti-BJP votes. Division of anti-BJP votes helps the BJP. Consolidation of anti-BJP votes, consolidation of the Muslim vote helps the TMC and the Congress equally. And the icing on the cake would be that the Congress may even agree to vacate the Raiganj seat for the Congress, and the Trinamool may not fight on that seat, and that is something that the Congress would like, given the historical perspectives. And electoral results in the past have also showed that such a possibility exists, and it would be beneficial for the Congress to fight with the TMC in the absence of an alliance with the left. With camera person G.D. Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
And trouble for the Congress in Punjab. Despite infighting, the Punjab Congress is clearly saying no to any alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party after Navjot Singh Sidhu held an independent Jeetega Punjab rally in Bhatinda district and then took a dig at his Congress colleagues who called him out. They hit back on by calling for his expulsion for indiscipline and self-glorification. The infighting in the party has yet again come to the fore as the Congress is preparing for the Lok Sabha polls.
Despite infighting in the Punjab Congress, the message from its leaders was clear today at a massive rally organised in Ludhiana to protest against Aam Aadmi Party's alleged failure to deliver on promises.
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਲੀਆਂ ਜਿਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਕਰਾ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਨਜ਼ੂਰ ਨਹੀਂ
Notable by his absence from this protest rally was former Punjab Congress President Navjot Sidhu. A clear indication that the former cricketer is not going to back down in his battle with other Congress leaders in the state. A battle that started after his jibe at former CM Charanjit Singh Channi during a rally at Bathinda on the 17th of December.
ਚੰਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੋਈ ਲੜਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕਾਂਗਰਸੀ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੜਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮਿੱਤਰਾ ਚਾਦਰਾਂ ਨਾ ਵਿਛਾਓ ਮਿੱਤਰਾ ਆ 4 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਲਾ ਲਿਓ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਕੇ ਦਵਾ ਲਿਆ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ
State Congress leaders hit back after his comment, asking him to be expelled from the party for indiscipline, incompetence, self-glorification and working against the party's interests.
मैं तो उन्होंने यही बेनती करूंगा सिद्धू साहब ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮੈਚੁਰਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਜਮਾਤ ਨੇ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੇ ਹੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਾਈਜੈਸਟ ਵੀ ਕਰੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਖਾੜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲਾਣਾ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕੋਈ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ
Sidhu's aide and AICC official has now sought action against Congress leaders who wrote to the party high command asking for action against Sidhu. NDTV Bureau Report.
After an aide of former Wrestling Federation of India Chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh succeeded him in the top post, Olympic medalist and ace wrestler Sakshi Malik has declared that she will quit the sport in protest. Sanjay Singh, who's the new chief, is a long-time aide of Brij Bhushan Singh, the BJP MP who had to step aside after top wrestlers, including Sakshi Malik, accused him of sexually harassing several women players. The country's top wrestlers, Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart and Bajrang Punia, expressed their disappointment at the results.
पूरे दिल से लड़ी, लेकिन अगर प्रेसिडेंट ब्रिज भूषण जैसे आदमी जैसा ही रहता है, उसका बिल्कुल सहयोगी है, उसका बिजनेस पार्टनर है, वो अगर इस फेडरेशन में रहेगा तो मैं अपनी कुश्ती को त्यागती हूँ और मैं आज के बाद कभी भी आपको वहाँ नहीं दिखूंगा। तो बस सभी देशवासियों को धन्यवाद जिन्होंने आज तक इतना मेरा सपोर्ट किया और मुझे इस मुकाम तक पहुँचाया।
मुझे नहीं लगता कि भाई बेटियों को न्याय मिलेगा, क्योंकि जिस हिसाब से पूरे तंत्र ने काम किया है, बेटियों को तोड़ने का काम अभी भी चल रहा है। आज WFI के चुनाव देख लिया आपने, उसी का अभी बना है। उसके बावजूद जब खेल मंत्री जी के सामने 15-20 लड़कियों ने अपनी आप बीती बताई थी, आज 6 लड़कियां हैं, 6 लड़कियों में भी तोड़ने पे पूरा जोर लगाया जा रहा है।
In other news now, the European Union reached an agreement on new rules designed to share out the cost and work of hosting migrants more evenly and to limit the numbers of people coming in. Parmeshwar with the details.
You know what's an easy prediction for 2024? We'll be talking a lot about migration. After a pandemic-era lull, the issue has roared back to the forefront as Western leaders face pressure from the right to adopt ever stricter measures. The European Union has reached an agreement on new rules designed to share out the cost and work of hosting migrants more evenly and to limit the number of people coming in. Representatives of the European Parliament and of EU governments reached an accord after all-night talks on EU laws, collectively called the new Pact on Migration and Asylum, that should start taking effect next year. The laws cover screening irregular migrants when they arrive in the European Union, procedures for handling asylum applications, rules on determining which EU country is responsible for handling the applications, and ways to handle crisis. Although Europe moved swiftly to welcome millions of mostly white Christian refugees from Ukraine after Russia's 2022 invasion, European countries now seem focused on keeping others out. It's no surprise. European countries have struggled for years to find common ground on migration policy, but the increase in arrivals, especially over the past year, has fed the politicization of migration policy.
All right, let's go across to Rajya Sabha, where voting is underway on the criminal justice bill.
That would lay a firm foundation for Bharat's Amrit Kal. We were able to transact business for 65 hours during the 14 sittings and addressed over 2,300 questions from Treasury and the opposition benches. During the period, over 4,300 papers were laid on the table. I am pained to state that nearly 22 hours were lost due to avoidable disruptions, adversely impacting our overall productivity, and finally stood at 79%. Weaponizing disruption and disturbance as a political strategy doesn't resonate with our constitutional obligation of keeping the interest of the people at large above any other political considerations. Honourable members, in line with our progressive initiatives of previous sessions in this session as well, we have ensured that our esteemed lady members would continue to represent 50% of the panel of vice chairpersons and the table of the House. I thank each and every member of the panel for their effective contribution in handling the session. During the course of the session, interns from various institutions from Andaman, Kerala, Rajasthan, Ladakh, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh had the benefit to observe the functioning of Rajya Sabha. It was a part of our effort to establish a link with younger generations of this country whose future invariably rests with our constitutional obligations inside this chamber. Let me conclude by expressing my deep sense of gratitude to the Honourable Deputy Chairman, Sri Harivanshji, whose guidance, experience, eloquence and expertise had helped to conduct the proceedings of the House smoothly. My thanks also to Secretary General and his entire team of officers who have ensured seamless functioning of this session with utmost dedication. I wish each and every one of you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2024. I am sure I am not alone in expecting 2024 will be a different year in a sense that will continue wholesomely for the prosperity of Bharat, and this House plays a constructive role in delivering so. Thank you. Jai Hind.